Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Enemy here, bringing you my review for My Hero Academia, chapter 227. So yeah, it's pretty much back like One Piece, although unlike One Piece, it appears that the My Hero Academia is gonna have a chapter out next week. From what I saw, it doesn't appear that My Hero Academia is gonna be going on break. Um, but with that said, and with that said, I definitely need to kind of I think one thing I do need to say about My Hero Academia's break, pretty much during Golden Week, is that I'm really kind of thankful for pretty much the week long break that the series took, because it gave me time to reflect on the previous chapter and made me realize the further implications of what the evolution of Toga's quirk actually means. Because this is something I even forgot to mention in last week's chapter, but in the previous chapter. But the one thing I finally realized is that if all it but with Toga's transformation quirk going through this kind of evolution, if All Might's death is still very much on the table, I think it's more than likely that what we're seeing here, and what Horikoshi is setting up, is that with this development, plus the fact that so far as we know, that the League of Villains in Toga pretty much still has a sample of Izuku's blood. I think between these two things, between Izuku's blood and the evolution of Toga's the evolution of Toga's quirk, I think all these are pointing towards Toga being the one who will pull the trigger in the end, and the one to kill All Might. Like it just really kind of makes sense if you really think about it, because if pretty much if Toga has this perfect transformation quirk, or near perfect transformation quirk, then it'll be all that much easier in order to get in order to even get near All Might now. So, and it'll allow her to pretty much kill him easier too. So, if Toga transforms into Izuku, if Toga actually kills All Might as all being transformed as Izuku, just imagine the tragedy of All Might, of that whole scenario of All Might being killed by a person who by a person who's impersonating his student. Like, just the tragedy of that is kind of nuts. It really freaking is. But yeah, I just had to get that out there, because it's one of those things where I kind of the more I realized where the week long break, it really made me, it really forced me in order to reflect on the last week's chapter. But yeah, just the implications of what could happen now with this, and in terms of All Might's death now, is kind of yeah, it's kind of dark, very dark. Um, Now, on to the chapter itself, and the beginning is something very interesting, just for how contradictory it is, because it basically because Destro, he keeps talking about how he keeps talking about how he talks about in this chapter how humans are noble beings, and in this case he is referring to pretty much his organization and the Liberation Army. Yet at the same time, yet at the same time, at the same time, he is also complicit in acts of censorship and manipulation, because somewhere in his mind he squared it as the end justifies the means, but really it's just manufactured peace. And one thing that I've really kind of realized from this is that in a lot of ways we can basically see Destro as almost like as oh, I don't want to get I don't want to I don't know if this is actually really gonna fit well into it or not, but Destro in a lot of ways is kind of like a bit of a modern day politician. Like he basically lies, and he basically lies, and he basically coerces. He lies and he manipulates information for basically things to for pretty much things in order to take advantage of a situation. And here it's no different. He's just manufacturing something. He's just manufacturing everything he's created with the Liberation Army is, in more ways than one, it is manufactured peace. Although in this case, it's basically he's done it in a way where everyone is is basically okay with that, or just has kind of is just okay with that almost, or just has accepted it as a norm or something like that. But and but yeah, it's also weird because you can definitely see he at least kind of sees it as the only possible way, I suppose, of achieving peace in this world. Um, but at the same time, it's but at the same time that definitely doesn't make it right. And because of this difference, and despite the fact that this whole like little arc is a battle of villains versus villains, we can definitely take Destro's humans are noble line, that humans are noble beings line, and not necessarily, and I feel that particular line, it definitely applies more to the League of Villains in this case than the Liberation Army at this point, since pretty much the League in this case are a lot more, have proven to be a lot more heroic, whereas the Liberation Army has just chosen to go down this extremely almost extreme path of villainy almost, like, and again, they are villains, but with the League, at least you get the sense that they pretty much have developed this basically this pretty much sense of camaraderie, and they genuinely have reasons for pretty much what they do. But with Destro, he's like he has reasons for what he does, but he just doesn't. Destro, he has reasons for what he does, but it's not. It's again, it's like I said, the ends aren't really justifiable of the means, but and that's something that the League has definitely over the Liberation Army as well. With the League, they pretty much are villains at the core. I'm never going to deny that they're villains, but they're pretty much villains. They're villains who we've gotten to know now, and we understand as to why they're doing what they're doing, and a lot of what they do is kind of justifiable now. But with the Liberation Army, a lot of it is becoming a lot less justifiable almost. I guess is what I'm saying. Um, so, and with this said, we basically see that pretty much Shigaraki's quirk has gone through something of a semi transformation in this chapter, and I say that because from basically from how the chapter plays it out in terms of this new power that pretty much that he has developed. It appears that Shigaraki can really only use this new power and anytime he has those memory flashes. But pretty much now with us knowing of this power now, it really makes him all the more dangerous. And especially if you can definitely learn to. If you can learn to control this power, like if Shigaraki ends up learning to control his power, then oh boy, things are not gonna go well for pretty much our heroes. Like he can pretty much commit he can commit pretty much mass murder with this quirk now. Like instant mass murder almost with this quirk now if he learns to control his power, and with this new development in terms of his quirk, it makes you wonder as to whether or not even All For One. Even All For One had basically known that Shigaraki would even be this powerful. I mean, obviously he knew he had this power. Otherwise he wouldn't. Otherwise, All For One I don't think would have even chosen him as his successor. But I get the feeling that All For One, even All For One, for basically as much of a force, for basically as much of a person who tries to look into the future, or who tries to plan for the future. I don't think even All For One had any true understanding of how powerful that the pretty much of how powerful that pretty much Shigaraki would become, because with Shigaraki, this basically shows that his true potential is a lot more a lot more massive than we ever thought possible now. Now, one other thing we learn in this chapter is that there's a little snippet in this chapter where basically we see the league asking about how long it's going to take for in order for Gigantomachia in order to get to their location. And we learned that the ETA of his arrival is 1 hour and 20 minutes, and it's one of those things where I don't want to believe that Horikoshi is going to go down into any kind of Dragon Ball pacing territory with this little bit of information, because he has been rather consistent in that area. But at the same time, it does make me wonder how much longer we're going to actually have to wait even before the big guy comes. But yeah, hopefully we won't have to wait too much longer, because I definitely want to see. I think we're reaching a point where pretty much Gigantomachia is kind of needed at this point. Is needed almost. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and you want to Crunchyroll. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.